So my name is Leah Boucher. I was nominated by my sister, actually, who's also nominated, because I have been through my fair share of things, and now I'm a group facilitator at an intensive crisis stabilization program for New Oakland Family Centers.
Okay.
So I work directly with people who are in crisis. It's a short-term program. I run group therapy with them and get them to kind of process through like their active crisis.
Sure. I'll bet you're a really busy person right now.
But it's good. I like being busy.
Good. That's a good reason for you to be here.
Yeah.
Let's kind of go back a little bit. In order to get to where you are, right, you went through some really hard things. And if you're willing to share some of it, we'd love to hear a little bit about some of the things you encountered on the way.
Sure. So it's basically started off when I was 6 months old.
Okay.
My parents divorced, and started a very rocky, unstable childhood, where I had to kind of bounce around. My kindergarten year, I had to start off the day with my mom, get dropped off at the babysitter's, go to kindergarten, get picked up by my dad. He had to go back from Garden City to Plymouth to pick up my sister from the same school, feed us dinner, drop us off at my mom's work, and then like have the rest of the night with us. So it was just like that was every day for so long. So
that's a lot of transition.
It started off very rocky.
Yeah.
Over time, it was like every other weekend with my dad and the rest of the time with my mom. But you know, she was a single mother, so lots of babysitters in the mix as well. And Dad's house wasn't so stable. He ended up marrying someone who was very not great at times. And lots of things were kind of said, mentioned, but thankfully I was never physically harmed. So I'll say that I, through all my hardships, kind of just became the therapist friend. All the people that I was friends with would be like, oh, I just need to vent to you. And I was like, okay.
Lucky you, right?
Right. And I would help them through their stuff, and like not even realizing that I was holding this in. So I ended up going through a really bad like preteen slash like early adolescence, I'll say, era where it was just very bad. My friends used to like cry to their parents about how my mental health was just so bad, and they thought that like I wouldn't make it out of it. And I started to kind of pull through and just get through it. I don't know what got me there, but I think through support and just recognizing that there are people on my side here to help me, I was finally able to start working towards healing. And then my junior year of high school, my childhood friend committed suicide. So, and then it got rocky. I was kind of like giving up on school and trying to get through that, but I noticed that I had a particular amount of like resilience that was helping me get through it. And I think that that's kind of like what was pushing me this whole time. It's like I recognized that each thing that I went through helped me get better in some way. So and then I was starting college, got a full ride academic scholarship to Eastern. And I was super excited, and I was going in for HR, and I hated it. HR was just not for me. So I was working through that, and I realized I can have a psych major as well, because I had to take so many credit hours a semester, and I could just fit in a psych major and it would all be perfectly normal. So I did. And I realized that my psych major was 3.9 and my business major was 3.4, and I was like, I wonder why that is. Maybe because I really like the material. So and then without having to change anything, I just changed my focus. I was like, psych is my focus now. And I recognized that like through these hardships, I was like, the thing I want to do is working in mental health, and I'm not going to get that as much as I would like to with HR.
You'll still get it, just not explicitly intended to be that way.
More so benefits than
kind of direct.
Just not my cup of tea.
Gotcha.
So I finished out both majors still, but ended up going into the psychology aspect. And in my undergrad, started working with a professor doing research about stereotype threat, which I can explain, for the LGBTQ plus community, and that like the stereotype threat is basically a stereotype is put on them, and the example that we used is like predominantly a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community are bad at math. bad at math, right?
Right.
And so we test how that affects them. It makes them want to do better, but the pressure of that makes them do worse.
Yeah.
So we're testing that right now, and I think that's really cool. And, you know, throughout college and some of high school, going through all these transitions, I was in a really long relationship, and it was a whole lot of emotional, mental kind of abuse, where it was like lots of gaslighting, intentionally bringing my self-esteem down so that I would feel comfortable and just stay, and a lot of these different things. And I recognized that they were struggling with their own mental health issues as well, and not that it's justified, but you know, it is what it is. So when I finally got out of that, took a little bit of healing, but I think not that much. I think I kind of healed from it while I was in it, and that's what gave me the strength to leave.
Sure.
Now I'm graduated from my undergrad, applying to my master's in social work.
All right.
Yep. I plan to open up a private practice in clinical psych, and working through maybe some EMDR therapy.
Sure.
To help people really process their traumas. And then now I'm in a really stable and healthy and happy relationship. I'm engaged. I'm getting married.
Yay!
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think that like through all of those hardships and, you know, abuse here and there, and again, thankfully never physical abuse, but you know, lots of emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
I recognized that it was just only helping me to be the future therapist that I can be.
Yeah.
And it helps me now be able to, you know, especially right now I'm working with preteens, and that's quite fun.
Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet.
You know, one of them challenged me recently and said, like, how do you know? You don't know what we're going through. And I just took a second.
Maybe more than you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't share too much, but kind of let them know, like, I'm traumatized. I've had my things, but I was able to work through it and get to the point where I'm able to help you guys with it as well. And they really were like, okay.
Yeah, that's almost, you have a certain amount of street cred from having been through some of these same things yourself. You're not talking from a book, you're talking from life, and that makes a difference.
And it helped them gain a lot of respect towards me, I think. Not that they didn't respect me before, but I think gave them a second to be like, you know what? We should listen to her. Yeah, you're going to be a lot more relatable than a lot of the people are out there. So your own experience with not finding the right therapist, right? You have, you know what it's like to not be with the right person. Right. Now you can be that right person for them when you can connect that way. Yeah. Brilliant. That's the hope. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it won't work for everybody, but it'll work more than not. Yeah. That's what I've noticed is that like the basic premise of running group therapy is just, I'm going to treat you like a human and treat you with the respect that you deserve. And a lot of times people respond very well to that. Yeah, and then absolutely. With that, they're able to build rapport with me. And even though it's a short-term program and they don't have more than 3 weeks, they're able to really connect and feel comfortable sharing. Kind of like how this program is all about a safe space. That's what I like to facilitate in group therapy as well. Safe space and brave space is very important. Yes. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Well, you have certainly been through a lot. Thank you for sharing that piece of it. And I can see how it's helped to point you in a direction, how you were able to take that energy and the things that you learned and apply it to where you're going. And that helps you to heal, but it also helps give hope and inspiration and healing to others. So it's a really good path. And I wish you luck on it. Thank you. I'll throw you a curveball question if you don't mind. Sure. So where you're at right now, with all of the experiences you have and the knowledge you have and all of the healing you've done, you have the benefit of looking in a rearview mirror now, right? If you were able to go back in time and sit down next to, let's say, a 6-year-old version of yourself and have a conversation and have a chance to tell that younger version of yourself something about the future, what would you tell her? I think that I would just tell her that, you know, she's doing good things, and things that may feel like are the end of the world are not. And, you know, we can really just power through and get through it. Like reminding her that the support system that she has is amazing, and that all these things happen for a reason, to build that resiliency and to make you like a better person, I think, overall.